growth, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And for our word of the day, let us hear from our grammarian, Kathy, please.
I put this in our chat box too, which for some reason looks like the font is really, really small today. Maybe it's my eyeballs. Y'all will understand when you get older. The word of the day is idyllic. It means to be charmingly simple or serene, suggestive of ideal, a pastoral or rustic scene that conjures feelings of peacefulness and contentment. Kind of like you're looking at a rustic, pasture or something like that, or field of flowers, or excellent or delightful in all respects. And again, I have it in our chat also. So idyllic is our word of the day.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for that idyllic description of our meeting, hopefully today. And we do not have a timer. Is there someone who could offer to be our timer?
Yeah, I could do it.
Thank you very much, Kaushal. Okay, so Kaushal. Well, it's April and we've marched in to April Fool's Day yesterday. Hope you made it through without too many tricks. Did you know that April Fool's Day has been celebrated for several centuries? Who knows, maybe longer, by different cultures, though its exact origins remain a mystery. In 1892, the French switched from a Julian calendar, where the new year began in April, to the Gregorian calendar. Unfortunately, there were some people who didn't get the memo, and they continued to celebrate New Year's on the last week of March through April 1st. Others who knew that it had changed, they played jokes and hoaxes on them, and they were called April Fools. These pranks included having a paper fish on their backs and being referred to as the Poisson d'Avril, the April fish. And it is said to symbolize a young, easily caught fish and a gullible person. So in French, it's Poisson d'Avril. In English, it's April Fools. And how do you say it in any other language? This morning, our first speaker is being evaluated by Kathy Draper, and she will give us Sanjeev's purpose, please.
The purpose of today's speech, he is doing the effective body language, if I understand correctly. The purpose of this is to be aware of intentional and unintentional body language when we're speaking, to learn and practice and refine how we're using those nonverbal communication. And I believe they said that the name of this speech had been changed to Life Race. Is that correct, Sanjeev? Okay. So for today's evaluation, it'll be about effective body language. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Please welcome Sanjeev Kumar Sharma, Life Race, Sanjeev Kumar Sharma.
Am I audible? Okay. Thanks, Team Odi and the evaluator for giving me this opportunity to speak. So I'm going to tell a story and where I'll try to implement what I have learned in this particular module. Once upon a time, there was a boy, young athletic boy, who found, who has a narrative in his mind that success is something comes with the winning. Winning is success. This was there in his mind all the time. He keep on participating in different race competition all the time, and he kept on winning. One day, what happened that in his village there was a race competition held, and he prepared for that. When a crowd has gathered to cheer him there, and with the crowd there came a wise man as well to uh, to see how the boy is performing, because he was little famous in that area. Everyone was very excited to see the race. The first race, in the first race, the boy compete with two boy who are little little elder with him, and he win the race. The 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 audience cheered for him, wave for him, and it was a proud moment for him. And he say, anyone anyone also want to race with me, please come, I am here to race, please come. Then other two boy came against him, and this time they were looked more strengthier, and they were looked uh, more healthier than him. And with his great determination and strength, he win the race. Again, a crowd cheer for him. He felt so static. He was feel so it just boosted his energy, his confidence level. And but everyone cheered, but the old wild man was not cheering. He was not doing anything. He was just looking at that boy, that what exactly he's doing. So this time, when he uh, when he asked, uh, when he screamed for other person, he challenged other person to come and compete against him. The old man came in front of him and say the boy that I have something for you, and you can compete against them. The Then the old man show his hand towards two people standing on the ground. And the little boy, by seeing those two people, the little boy was surprised. He was shocked. Oh, what am I going to win? Am I going to race against these people? And do you know who are those people? One was a frail, old lady, and other was a blind man. This is not possible. This is not a competition. Then the old man said, yeah, you please race with them. You have to race with them. Like that, he told to the boy. The boy was then agree to race, and within a short time he touched the finish line. All And other two people were still at the starting line. So at this time, the crowd didn't make any cheer for him. He was surprised. What happened? Why the crowd has not made any cheer for me? What all happened? He was shocked. He went back to the old man and asked that, Sir, what happened? This time, nobody cheer for me. What happened? Why this happened? I'm so surprised. Then then the old man said, this time, please, you run together. You race together. You race together. And then you then see what happened. Then the boy first thought, what he's exactly trying to teach me, what he exactly trying to say me. And then he stand in between these two people, the old frail lady and the the blind man, and he hold their hand and slowly started running. This time he was slow. He was running slow and allowed the other two people to go on. And finally, the other two people will reach at the finish line, and he was still walking slowly. So this time, people applaud and cheer for him. Again, the boy was feel very static, and he was uh, very happy to understand, to know all these things. But one question again in his mind, that mind, and he came back to the wise old man and said that, what happened? uh, I have still one question. Even if the crowd cheer for me, they applaud for me, again I have one question. So then old man say, what is the question? Then I don't understand. For who win among all of three? Is it for me or for other whom the crowd had cheered? Then the old man said that this is the best race you ever have, that you have held these people hand and supported. So this is what the race. So what is the moral? The story is, what is race? We all the time go behind the success. We run behind the success, and we want to go somebody against. So if we run against other person, but is it define your success? Is it the winning always define the success? uh, so it is all how you're it is doesn't matter how you're running with whom you're running. Success, it has a different definition. Yeah, that's all from my end. Yeah, thank you. Back to you, GMOD.
Thank you very much, Sanjeev, for your story. Very compelling story and a very thoughtful way to start the day. Thank you. I see our guest has just stepped out, but we'd like to welcome Michael to our club, and we'll have his comments a little later on. Our next speaker is Sathya, and for his evaluator is Kaushal. Kaushal, could you please give us his purpose statement?
Yes, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. The purpose of Satya's speech is to deliver a speech on a point of view and what makes things funny, including at least one anecdote or story intended to entertain or bring humor into the presentation. The title of the speech is Positive Attitude. It will be a 5 to 7 minute speech. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Kaushal. Please welcome Sathya. Positive attitude, Sathya.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Thank you. Good day, Toastmasters and distinguished guest, Michael. Have any one of you traveled on a hot Sunday afternoon or any afternoon, summer afternoon, in a train without air conditioner, without an air conditioner? Have any one of you traveled? Great. Very good. I have traveled in the month of July 2005 from Delhi to Bangalore. Myself and my good friend Martin, we were to travel by train from Delhi. So we reached the railway station on that day. But before that, let me tell you about Martin. Martin is a very grumpy person. Usually when children are born, they cry. Martin kept crying, but he continued to cry throughout his life. And whenever we meet him, he keeps saying, complaining generally about life. He never could get himself adjusted to Indian part of life, though he was not born here, was brought up here. Well, on that day, we reached New Delhi station. When we went in, it was not an idyllic environment there. due to a cyclonic storm somewhere in the East Coast. There were many cancellations, delays, and we could see on platform number 1, many people sitting with their baggage, some of them sleeping on the benches on the ground. So we had great difficulty to reach platform 17, where our train was to depart. So we had to hop around, go this way, that way, go move around to reach the stairs, and then go with our baggage. All along, Martin, with his usual self, kept grumbling, what is this, where have I landed, what kind of a situation we have landed in, so much of commotion and all that. Be that as it may, we reached platform 17, boarded the train. As I said, it was a general unreserved class without any air conditioning. We got into our allotted seats. When we sat there, to our misfortune, we saw the ceiling fan was not working. Again, you can understand Marty's predicament. Well, some people were sitting there. One young fellow asked me, "Sir, do you have a comb in your pocket?" I said, "Comb? With my bald head? Do you think I should have a comb?" Nevertheless, he took a comb from some other person. Then what he did, got above the berth, just pushed the blade, just like that. The fan started whirring, and lo and behold, the fan was working. Typical Indian train fans, many a times it happens. It's a practical experience. We have seen that many a times. So that way we continued our journey. Another important aspect about Indian traveling, train traveling is essentially in long distance trains, we get very friendly. The passengers get friendly. We keep talking to each other. There was another man which we got acquainted with. When we start talking, we play cards, we have food, share, enjoy the journey generally. I and Martin got acquainted with another gentleman, Swami Shivananda, a monk who was coming all the way down from Himalayas. He was living there for nearly 15 years. We got to know from him, learned many typical lessons in life, deep meditation, and how to control your mind. Martin got interested. He went on talking to that monk. He said, and pouring out his own problems in life about the station episode, about the fan, and about generally about Delhi pollution, air pollution, water pollution, whatever may be that may. Then Swamiji said, he's very wise and experienced. He said in a calm and cool manner, "Martin, don't enter into a fight with what you have no real control over. Look inwards rather than outwards. Your happiness depends on 3 things. In fact, he told that he is quoting from Epictetus, the Greek philosopher. He said, 3 things are your will or desire, then your ideas that generate based on your desire, and then how do you put into action those desires is what is critically important. He also compared what he explained. Look at the young man who brought out the fan into operation. He brought out his will or desire with a positive attitude, took out the comb, put it into action, and started operating the fan. That's how you have to motivate yourself to put things into action. It's not only essential to have a positive attitude, it is also important to take action. This was also told recently by Sandeep Maheshwari. He's a motivational speaker in India, very famous. If you have a positive attitude, it's not enough. You have to put it into action, your ideas. Whatever ideas come to you, you should put it into action. Dear Toastmasters, many a times we unnecessarily focus on unwanted things in life. Please remember, the real essence of happiness is found only with the things under your own control. What is not within your control, you should never attempt to think about too much about it. That's what we learned from this lesson that I had gone through. If you keep this in mind, you won't find yourself feeling remorse or forlorn. Pull back from the situation, take a wider view, have a positive asset, and move on with your life. This is what I had to convey to Martin on that day. I hope he got convinced. Now he is literally a changed person. Back to Modi.
Thank you very much, Satya. Yes, an idyllic state is to have a positive attitude. And I have to add, I think I know Martin myself. Thank you again. Please welcome Michael. Michael, did you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Hello, my apologies for being late. I just had trouble finding the link in all my emails. Yeah, no, I know Samesh here in Ireland. I've dealt with Samesh, and Samesh did send me the link. And I was here actually, I think, 2 weeks ago, or a
That's
week,
right.
I'm not sure. And I thought it's a convenient time, and I got the grass cut last week, so I don't have to cut it this week. And so I managed to fit in a meeting. And no, I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to have heard both speeches, and I look forward to maybe.
Thank you very much, Michael. Yes, I was thinking that I recognized you, and I'm okay.
It's a little dark. Let me turn around. It might be a little better.
Oh, thank you.
You can see my
Please
light
welcome.
behind.
Thank you. We'll move on in our program, and we will introduce our table topics master, Ricky Sue. Please welcome Ricky Sue.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the April Fool's Day is over. So whatever I say, you can believe in me. I'm telling you the truth. And I'm going to share with you a few topics or scenarios, even pictures. And your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to speak within 1 to 2 minutes and talk about the topic or tell us what you would do in that scenario. The purpose is to train our impromptu speaking. At the same time, let's have fun together. Now I need the first volunteer. Who would like to speak on the first very easy topic? If there is no volunteer, can I call upon our first speaker today, Santi, to try?
Yes.
All right. This is your topic. It's April Fool's Day. Propose to your partner. It's April Fool's Day. Propose to your partner. Sanjit.
Sorry, Ricky. I think there was some disturbance. So what I heard, it's like is a full day you propose to your partner something.
It is April Fool's Day. Propose to your partner.
Okay, let me try. So partner can be anyone. So I'm considering my partner as my wife. Okay. So my dear wife, today is April full day, and I'm sure I'm not going to make you full today, and I am just giving you something in to you to realize this day, and I hand over a box to her, and when she opened the box, and box was empty, and there was a small piece of paper written there, and when she picked that paper, and it's written April Fool, so she got it's April full day day for her. Yeah, thanks. I just tried. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep. It's a good try. Now I have the second topic, or I'd rather say the second prank. Who would like to take this topic? Calling one. Yes, our evaluator, Kausha. Kausha, this is your topic. You booked a flight to Ireland. Then you found the plane was going to Iceland. You booked a flight to Ireland. Then you found the plane was flying to Iceland. Kausha, tell us what you would do.
Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I think I had a successful trip because Iceland is between the United States and Ireland, so I nearly made it a part of the way. Now, I am not in Ireland, so my plans to personally visit Samesh and Michael and all my other friends in Dublin are kind of fallen by the wayside. and my plans to visit Ireland's idyllic countryside is also dubious. However, Iceland has a lot of beauty to it, and I'm going to make the most of this trip. The first person I see in Iceland, I'm going to call them Somesh, and I'm going to hang around with them. And we're going to find somebody else, and we're going to call them Michael. And it's going to be as if I'm actually in Ireland with my Toastmasters buddies. We are going to eat the local cuisine, which I'm sure is fish, and we're going to pretend it's the best shepherd's pie anyone has ever served us, because I think shepherd's pie is Irish, or maybe it's Scottish. And it's going to be exactly like Ireland, except it's going to be in Iceland. Just as Satya's speech said, you have to make the most of the situation and you have to take action to meet your desire. That's what I'm going to do, even though I'm going to be the most annoying person in Iceland because of that. Back to you, Topics Master.
Thank you, Kausha, for sharing your plan B, flying to Iceland. Now, who would like to take the third funny topic? Raise your hand. Our guest, Michael. All right, Michael, I just done a prank on you. You have to speak on a picture. Can you see the picture? Can you say yes when you're ready?
Yes, I see the picture.
So are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Michael, over to you.
Yeah, that was today, actually. I remember that. I got dressed up. You see me there, I was on the right of the picture. I put on a dress and some makeup, and didn't have to actually add much around my waist, I must admit. You know, I was kind of already prepared in that department as such. So there was this lovely lady, I could almost say idyllic, but maybe just beautiful and slim and attractive, but and the weighing scales. But you know, I just felt in a bit of a grumpy mood, whatever, and there was something annoying me, and so I thought I would just wander over and just, let's say, rest there, kind of saying, you know, hurry up, Dolly, you know what I mean? And the person did seem to get rather upset, but you know, it's a tricky one, because then I was wondering, did I actually know the person? You know what I mean? And is it a way to get to know people? But it doesn't really work as a kind of a chat up line. You know what I mean? I must admit. So, and yeah, I was thinking it wouldn't work. So I thought, anyway, after a while, anyway, the person was a little distressed, and they get off, you know what I mean? And then I obviously took my foot away, and but then I must admit I did have the heart to say, because weight is an actual sensitive issue. I said, no, I think there was actually something wrong with the machine back there. Let me go back. Yeah, I think you should weigh yourself again. And I put €1 in myself, and the lady hopped on, and then the weighing scale gave the right remark that time, and the person was much happier. Do you know what I mean? And obviously I didn't want her to think I was a total wacko by showing my own, that I was a man dressed up as a woman. So I thought I better leave it at that stage and not ask for any telephone number or anything like that. And with that, the lady went on her way, and I bought a Mars bar at the counter. And with that, I'll pass back to the Topics Master, Mr. Topics Master.
Wonderful, Michael, wonderful story. Now, I would like to call upon the next member to take the next joke. Who would like to volunteer?
I'll give it a try.
Teresa, is that you?
I could.
Kathy,
Kathy.
I see.
Yeah, Kathy.
All right.
I'm
Kathy.
afraid. I'm very afraid.
Oh, nothing to be scared of. The next picture is this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, can you speak on this picture?
This is not an idyllic situation. But could you understand how frustrating this would be? Why can't people put their carts in the right place? I'm not sure what it's like in other countries, but we have these here in the US. We have little places where people just put their cart, It's not that far away, especially on it. Look, it's a beautiful day. Why couldn't you put your cart where it's supposed to be? Why is my car surrounded by carts? And then if I try to get my car out, where do I put all these carts? Do I take them back to the grocery store or not? And then also one of the things in where I live in Kansas, or at least here in Wichita, this person is parked backwards. I don't know about where you live, but there's a reason why people do it all the time incorrectly. And the police are really not going to give you a ticket for it, because unless you're downtown, it's not that big a deal. But in our city or our state, we only have a license plate on the back of our car. So they have little readers where the police drive around, and if your car is parked backwards, there's no plate on the front, so they can't read it. So there's double misbehavior here. A, you're parked backwards. And I wouldn't have done this because this is not being my car, because I don't park backwards. But why can't people put their car back? And why are there so many carts? Apparently somebody that works here is not doing their job, because they should have been taking those carts. Maybe it's an employee, one of my coworkers that's not happy with me, who's surrounded my car with this. Do you think that would happen? Nah, nobody would do that to me. It's got to be an April Fool joke. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Kathy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have only 2 fun topics left. Who would like to be the second last speaker? Teresa? All right, Teresa. I saw Teresa first. Okay. Teresa, this is your topic. Honesty is not the best policy. Honesty is not the best policy.
I always tell the truth. Madam Toastmaster, Mr. Table Topics, fellow Toastmasters, and Michael. Yes, I do. I always tell the truth. I've been told since I was little that honesty is the best policy. Now, I have to admit, there have been a few little tiny white lies, like taking a vacation to Paris and not telling my husband until the last minute. And he says, I thought you said you weren't going. And I said, well, I wasn't, but then my sister told me I had to go. Little things like that. I mean, why get hung up on little tiny, errors or whatever? I would call them errors, not telling a direct lie. I would never tell a lie. I'm a Catholic girl, and Catholic girls don't tell lies. But then, there was the time my business partner said, what are you doing? Because we're working and we're online. And I said, well, I'm listening to you. But I wasn't. I was checking my emails and doing all of those other little things that you do when your mind wanders. And so, as you can see, those are only tiny little things. They're not lies, or maybe they're just stories. And I love being in such an idyllic state that, well, anything can happen. And I always do tell the truth. Mr. Table Topics.
Thank you, Teresa, for sharing the right thing to do. So I have the last topic. I saw Satya's hand up just now. Would you like to try, Satya? Okay, so this is the last topic. A laugh a day keeps hatred away. A laugh a day keeps hatred away. Satya.
Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guest Michael. Laugh a day keeps the doctor away. It's a very true thing. I would rather cherish this kind of a saying, because as I'm getting old, I have to keep going to the doctor very often for many of my ailments. But I always say that you have to keep laughing. Even every day morning, I do these yogic exercises. One of the things that my teacher tells me is one of the exercises rather is to keep laughing. Voluntarily, you have to laugh loud and make some action like a bicycle running. You have to lie down on your back and keep laughing loudly, and different voices you have to take. I find it very funny. Many of them, all of us are senior citizens in that. The eldest is about 75-year-old, the youngest is 64-year-old. I am somewhere in the middle. But I find that all of our oldies kind of laughing loudly, making different noises. One or two of them are couples. We can see on the Zoom screen that both of them are laughing differently and making noises. So quite interesting. Laughing is very important, not only for generally when you hear a joke or anything like that, but voluntarily you have, if you laugh at different kind of volumes, making action, bodily action along with laughing, it keeps your health very fit and very good. It seems some blood circulation happens in a different way, or in a better way, is what the scientists have researched and told, yogic scientists. So I recommend each one of you and me also to continue to do whatever we are doing as far as laughing is concerned and keeping the doctor away. Back to table topic master.
Thank you very much for sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope with these topics you have enjoyed the table topic session, just as I did. I have enjoyed how each of you have responded to the topic. Remember, today is no more April Fool's Day, and I am telling the truth. So let's put our hand together for our general evaluator, Somesh.
Thank you very much, Ricky, for a great set of table topics. We go to the third section of our meeting, which is the evaluation section. And for the first evaluation, I would like to welcome Kathy to the virtual stage to give us the evaluation of Sanjeev's speech. Thank you very much, Kathy.
The virtual stage. Hold on just a second. I've got it on my other screen. Fellow Toastmasters, honors guest, and especially Sanjeev. Sanjeev, I absolutely loved your story. You took us into an amazing and inspirational journey. I enjoyed how you actually changed your voice when you had some characters in there, and also you had such great energy and volume, especially as you were talking about the crowd getting excited and everything. That was perfect for this particular body language project. There's a few things I'd like to see you work on and a thing that I'd like you to challenge you on. This specific project was about body language. You did use some, but there was a few missed opportunities. I'll give you some examples. For example, when you were talking about crossing the finish line, you could bring your arms up and like you're crossing the finish line when that, when you have finish lines, it depends on the finish line, but sometimes they have that tape where you go across, you could bring your hands up, things like that. You could show a little bit more confusion, like when you were trying to understand why nobody was cheering for you, things like that. But you could use a little bit. There were some opportunities that were missed on there. I want you to be aware that when you're using the camera, I can't see this because I'm looking at my notes. So your hands are right here. So they're right in front of the camera most of the time. So you see how you can see my fingers right here. And then at the end of the speech, your thumbs are up. So we're seeing your hands because they're really where your camera's situated. We're seeing like the top of your hands quite a bit. If you're not using them for the effective body language, you might want to just try to drop them down so that you're aware of where they are with the camera. I know this is something that I'm working on myself because body language using effectively can be challenging. One of the things I'd like to challenge you on is I am not sure whether you're reading your speech. I can't really see that. I didn't think you were. Thank you for, I was watching, but most of the time you were looking down. When you're on the virtual stage, as we were just talking about it, your camera is your window to your audience. If you're looking at the Zoom screen or looking down, you're not, your audience can't see you. You have to actually look right at the camera. it's very easy in Zoom land to be looking around the audience, but because like if we were in a room together, that would be eye contact. And then it gets in a whole nother thing when you're a hybrid, but you need to make sure that you're looking at the camera so it looks like you're looking at the people that it's something you might practice. You can actually create your own little Zoom room and practice that so that you make sure, and even put something on your camera so you're looking at it. I didn't think you were looking at your notes because your eyes were not moving, but these are just a couple of tips. I love the story. You did do some very effective vocal variety and everything. Those are just a couple of things looking at taking advantage of some missed opportunities, like bringing your hands up when you cross the finish line. I'm sorry, I know I'm going over time, but there were a couple of little missed opportunities, that, and also be aware of where your eyes are when you're speaking so that your Zoom audience knows you're looking at them. I know it feels weird, but just a couple of things, but you did a great job and I can't wait for your next speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Apologies, I forgot to ask the time for the speeches. Kaushal, would you have the time for both the speeches, please? And evaluation as well. Thank you.
May I give the times after I do my own evaluation?
Yeah, if I could get the speeches at least. Do you have the times, is it, for the speeches?
Yes.
For
the
please.
speeches, Sanjeev spoke for 7 minutes, 35 seconds. Satya for 6 minutes, 2 seconds.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kaushal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yours you can give after your evaluation. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. So now I'd like to welcome Kaushal Gupta to the virtual stage to evaluate Satyanarayana's speech. Thank you very much, Kaushal.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters and guests, and Satya especially. The point of your speech was to deliver a speech on a point of view and what makes things funny, including at least one anecdote or story intended to entertain or bring humor. You certainly did so with the character of Martin. I loved how you depicted him as someone who never stopped crying from the day he was born. That is brilliant. In fact, I think it would have been better for you to open your speech that way. Something like, everyone cries when they're born. My friend Martin is how many years old? 50 years old. And he's never stopped crying since. That I think it would have been better to lead that way. You did open with a poll of whether any of us had traveled in a hot train, which is fine. But I think opening with that line about Martin would have been better. I loved how you use your body in your speech to depict all the funny things that were happening, so that you and Martin making your way through the crowded platform, stepping over people. That it reminds me so much of my own travels. I've had to travel throughout India on a hot train too. It was not an idyllic situation, so it really brought me back. I think you could have enhanced it by giving Martin more personality. Like, what did Martin actually say? Did he like curse under, Hindi? You could have said, I don't know, you just actually try to speak with his voice more. And I liked how you talked about the monk and how he kind of calmed Martin down. I maybe try to talk a little bit more about the monk. Did he have long hair? Did he have the saffron robes that we associate with the ascetics? Maybe try to speak with the monk's voice as well. And I like the message about what the monk said about putting desire into action. So, how did Martin change? Was Martin like smiling again at the end of the speech? Did he stop crying for the first time in his life? Maybe something like that. Or was he back to his own complaining, but maybe complaining with a little less edge to the voice? So I think maybe showing us a little bit more about Martin and showing how his transition from like a perpetually angry person to maybe somebody who's calmed down a little thanks to that that train ride. I really look forward to your next speech because I think you employ humor very well in your speech, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Kaushal. I think you were nearly there in terms of the time. It was 2:56, I would say.
Okay,
So
thank you.
congratulations on that. Sorry, what was the time for Kathy's evaluation?
Kathy's evaluation was 3 minutes, 45 seconds.
Okay, just
I can
a
also
little
give
bit
the
over.
table topics speeches times.
Yes, please do. Yes, thank you.
Yes, the table topics, Sanjeev, 54 seconds. Mine was 1 minute, 54 seconds. Michael, 1 minute, 51 seconds. Kathy, 2 minutes. Teresa, 1 minute, 58 seconds. Satya, 1 minute, 44 seconds.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Kaushal. I will come to the general evaluation part now. Very idyllic evaluation by both the evaluators. Congratulations on your evaluations. This is what is giving us the edge in terms of the clubs, that the evaluations are really very crisp. I think it's very important that they are crisp and they get to the point as much as possible. And I've seen that both the evaluations were really encouraging evaluations and at the same time helping the speaker to improve even more and get to the next level, which is extremely important as well. So congratulations to both the evaluators on doing a great job. Coming to the whole running of the meeting, I think we had a little bit of struggle in the beginning. Not all the role players had come in, and congratulations, Teresa, that you just were on the ball and you started off 1 minute past, and then immediately Sanjeev arrived as well at the time. So everything fell in place at the last moment and we just started on time. So congratulations on that. And great meeting theme as well, because yesterday was 1st of April and generally it is celebrated as the April Fool's Day. And coming on to the topics as well, Ricky, great set of topics, very humorous. It's really, and you set to the theme as well in terms of giving us all those interesting questions and those pictures as well. They are really hilarious ones. So congratulations on that. I don't evaluate the speakers, but I did mention about the speech evaluators, and great word, idyllic. I think it's not a word that we commonly use, but at the same time, it is something that challenges us a little bit in terms of trying to use it as well. So thank you very much, Kathy, for that. And welcome, Michael, once again. It's great to see you back once again. That's it. I think nothing else from my side. I think the whole meeting ran flawlessly, I would say. So congratulations, everyone, on doing a great job. And over to you, Teresa, as a Toastmaster. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Somesh, for taking over that role. I just wanted to tell you that I was a teacher for many years, and April Fool's Day, when it landed during the week, wasn't an enjoyable time for a teacher. But I made my students, I told them, I always tell the truth, I told them that it ends at 12 noon. So they only had a couple of hours to get in anything they wanted to do. And I believe that that's something that I learned from one of my teachers. With that, I would like to thank everyone for coming. Michael, would you like to give any comments on our meeting as our guest?
Thank you. As I'm listening here, I'm just reminded, I was informed that in Italy, in Northern Italy, it's actually a bumper year for the spaghetti crop this year, I've been told. Out in the fields, and it's a fantastic year. Good vintage. And that was a famous BBC, I think, April Fool's joke of many years ago. I think some people actually rang in looking for recipes and things. I'm not sure how to grow it. Anyway, no, I really enjoyed the meeting, and it was lovely. I said the time was great. The standard was great to fit in 2 speeches, and great evaluations and the topics, and it was a lovely topic. It was very entertaining, and it was a good fun meeting, and it was still educational. I just mentioned there, great choice of word, and I nothing to add, just that I did enjoy the hour, and it is nice, so it's great standard here as well. And the fact that flies along and finishes before the hour, it's even better. I always think it's nice if things don't run over time, so it's wonderful in that regard. But I enjoyed it. It's great to see, I'm sure, the four corners of the world here, and which is very good. But also the standards, the entertainment, the education, I thought it was very, very good altogether. I really enjoyed my hour.
Thank you very much, Michael. And on the subject of spaghetti, it reminds me of the Americans when they come into Canada in April with their skis, expecting to see snow. And of course, we don't have any more snow. But anyways, nothing. Sorry, Kathy. You're too far south to understand that, but it's quite funny, especially in July, if they come in July to see that.
No,
But people are, pardon me?
It snowed here on Wednesday. Here.
Okay.
It was the day
I guess
early for
people
April Fool's
just,
Day.
yeah, people think that, right on. People think that we live so far north. With that, are there any other comments or anything for the good of Toastmasters? Kath? And I see that we have Sabaria here. Last night she was chief judge at a division contest. Congratulations on that, Sabaria. I think it went very well. And anything else? With that, I will adjourn this
One thing,
meeting.
I believe Somesh was a chief judge this morning.
That's right.
Division
You're
five.
right.
So I'm impressed with the amount of hours you're putting in, Somesh. I know it's this time of the year. I wasn't too sure to be here. You're just after another big meeting earlier. So, and I hope it went well.
Thank you, Michael.
Hey.
Were you there in the contest, is it?
No. I am actually in Division A, but had to do a bit of shopping and bits and bobs. My wife went off with the daughter buying some sort of a graduation dress, so I had bits and bobs.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
interesting contest, actually. The standard was very high. Interestingly,
well.
what happened was in the first contest, they started off with the evaluation contest and then they had the international speech contest. And strangely enough, what happened is in the first contest, there was a tie for the first place. And in the second contest, there was a tie for the second place.
Oh gosh.
It's quite an interesting way the whole thing happened. So the tiebreaker judge was really important for the contest.
Oh,
really.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yes.
we wouldn't have got the exact order of 1, 2, 3. It would have been very difficult. It shows so much that each and everyone is really important to get the whole thing going. I think if one person is missing, then it causes a big hassle, I would say. It's interesting.
Fortunate you were there in that role, but everything is online now, because I remember before it wasn't online, long time ago. And I was always remember you'd go to a division final and there'd be a certain sense of trepidation that the
Yes.
governor who was supposed to bring the lights wouldn't or would have forgotten or something like that. But then we'd all be reminded, well, it's a voluntary organization and things like that. But nowadays the standard is just so high with the actual logistics of it, along with the speakers and things like that.
Absolutely.
And I think yesterday was April 1st. Well, Friday was April 1st. That was dues were due, right? And so you had to check and see that everyone qualified, because if your club wasn't in good standing,
But they
and
actually.
I don't know if you had any issues with that, Somesh. I was thinking other divisions have done their contests and April 1st didn't mean anything to them, but because of the fact April 1st came, Kathy?
Well, but the thing is due to the website. I'm not sure how they're handling it as far as contests, but due to the website being down this month, off and on, they actually extended it. If you go into the club, in the club management right now, it actually moved everybody's dates back to the end of April.
Right.
But I'm assuming that anybody who was competing should have known they should have gotten their dues in. So I'm not sure how they handled that, because technically a club won't be in good standing after the end of this month rather than end of March, which is interesting. So I don't know how you handle it contest wise, but they moved it like 2 days before, because I was at a meeting to help, because I'm helping a little bit with the district conference, but I'm limited on even though I'm out of competition in the district level now, I'm limited on what I can help with because I was a competitor this year. And so, but I was actually letting the district trio didn't even know they were moving it back. So apparently Toastmasters didn't even let people know they were doing that, because people at a higher level, I just saw it on the club, because I was watching mine like a hawk to see if we made it to President's Distinguished at
Mhm.
my club. So, and I happened to notice, why did they change the dates?
I
So
think
they
the
had-
issue is, I think the issue too is you might have paid your dues, but your club didn't have, like, isn't in good standing. So either you didn't have enough members or, so I'm not sure. I'm just saying, like, I've never come across in my 21 years, I've never come across an issue for that. And I'm just thinking it was kind of unfair if, right, if someone was disqualified, but you're right. I think the website is a bit challenging.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know why they did it, but it seems odd that I noticed that before my district had even been notified, that I just happened to,
Okay.
because we did hit President's Distinguished, but it just, I was like, yay! It came down to the last thing, even though I've been well, allegedly the last thing, but it just like, you know, it was kind of like the last minute. Everybody waits till the last minute to get their dues in. But we also had 2 new members that joined this week. But I don't know, for those of you that didn't, because I know some of you came to my division contest. I didn't know until this past week that I actually came in 3rd in the evaluation contest, because they only announced the first 2 people.
Okay.
So I got our district's doing medallions. Like, so I felt like an Olympian, because they're like gold, silver, and bronze, but they didn't ever announce who came in 3rd. And so when the medallions showed up the other day,
Nice.
I thought, well, are they doing participation trophies? And I turned it around and I found out I came in 3rd out of the 5 at division, because they only announced the top 2. They never announced any of the other placings. And so it was a nice, because they actually, last year when they sent out the trophies, they were just generic. They just said, winner, 1st or 2nd place for your area and stuff. They didn't say anything about, and I didn't place in either of them in division, but these ones were actually like engraved in everything and got there within 2 weeks, with your name, your placing, and everything. So when I turned it around, that's when I found out I'd come in 3rd, because evaluation is something I'm really trying to work on and get better at. So so that just happened to be the contest this year. I'm assuming we'll switch back to table topics next year.
Well done,
So,
Kathy.
Thank you.
but yeah, I just noticed they
Thanks,
moved
Ash.
the date.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Michael.
Meeting adjourned.
I love